There's a kind of tiredness that people rarely talk about. It's not the kind that comes from lack of sleep. It's the kind that builds slowly when you've been holding things together for a long time and no one really sees it. You show up where you're supposed to. You handle responsibilities. You deal with people's moods, expectations, and problems. You keep things moving forward. But inside, it can sometimes feel like you're carrying something heavier than the people around you realize. Not dramatic pain, just a quiet weight. The kind that builds when you're the one who stays calm while others lose control. The kind that builds when you think carefully about what you say instead of just reacting. The kind that builds when you try to handle life responsibly even when it isn't easy. And after a while, something strange starts to happen. You begin wondering if something is wrong with you. You see other people reacting loudly. You see people demanding attention. You see people making their frustrations obvious, and part of you wonders why things feel heavier for you than they seem to for them. But here's the truth that often goes unnoticed. The people who feel emotionally drained are often the same people who have been carrying the most. Not because they are weak, but because they've been absorbing more responsibility, awareness, and restraint than most people around them. Some people move through life expressing every frustration immediately. If something bothers them, everyone knows. If something feels unfair, they react. If something upsets them, it becomes visible right away. But there's another kind of person. Someone who thinks before speaking. Someone who tries to keep situations stable. Someone who doesn't want to create unnecessary conflict. Someone who quietly handles more than others realize. If that sounds familiar, then the tiredness you sometimes feel may not be a flaw. It may be evidence of something most people never develop: emotional strength. Real emotional strength is not loud. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't demand recognition. It shows up in small decisions most people never notice. The decision to stay patient when someone else is being difficult. The decision to think carefully instead of reacting impulsively. The decision to keep your dignity in situations where others lose theirs. Those moments rarely receive applause. But they shape you. They build something inside you that becomes stronger over time. A kind of stability. A kind of awareness. A kind of control over yourself that many people spend their entire lives chasing. But because this strength is quiet, it can sometimes feel invisible. And when something feels invisible long enough, you might start questioning whether it matters. It does. The ability to remain steady when situations become emotional is a rare skill. The ability to think clearly when others are reacting is powerful. The ability to move through life without becoming bitter or hostile toward the world is a form of strength most people never fully understand. But here's where things begin to shift. Instead of measuring your strength by how much recognition you receive, start measuring it by the kind of person you are becoming. Are you more thoughtful than you used to be? More aware of your reactions? More capable of staying grounded in situations that once overwhelmed you? If the answer is yes, then something important has been happening inside you, even if no one around you has pointed it out. Strength doesn't always arrive in dramatic moments. More often it grows quietly through everyday life, through responsibilities, through challenges, through situations where you had to hold yourself together even when things felt difficult. And over time, that quiet strength begins to shape how you move through the world. You become less reactive, less easily shaken, less dependent on what others think about you. Not because you stopped caring about people, but because you've started understanding yourself better. You begin to realize that strength isn't something people give you, it's something you build. And sometimes the people who feel the most invisible are the same people who have been building the most strength all along. The key is learning to recognize it. Because once you begin seeing your own strength clearly, something inside you changes. You stop questioning whether you're enough. You stop comparing yourself to people who live louder lives. You start respecting the steadiness you've developed through real experience. And that respect changes the way you carry yourself. You become calmer, more confident, more stable, not because life suddenly became easier, but because you've started seeing the strength you've been developing all along. And when you recognize that strength, you realize something important. You were never invisible. You were just building something most people never take the time to build. A strong mind, a steady presence, a kind of calm strength that doesn't depend on anyone else noticing it. And once you see that clearly, you start moving through life differently. Not trying to prove yourself. Not trying to compete with noise. Just quietly becoming someone who cannot be easily shaken. And that kind of strength will take you further than most people realize.